this a, excuse me, had my hand in the way. I want to make this a 15-minute or less video, and I'm kind of doing this impromptu. Um, want to lay out some things for you. This is considered part 7 of buying real estate up close, basically up close and personal. I want to give you a real personal look at what we're doing to buy the real estate, right? And in that, I want to show you finances today. And I know you won't see this information given out by a lot of people who are making money. They're trying to show you the big numbers, oh, how great it's going to be, this and that. I want to show you how we're going from a little of nothing. We started with zero in the bank. So I want to make sure you know that you can start with zero in the bank. And I also want to highlight the work and the time and effort it takes to put into it. I feel like if I give you the information, you'll have the tools that you need. However, a lot of people say they want to make money. Most people I know that ask me, how did you do it? We tell them how we did it, but then they don't go and do it. So it's not for everybody. Okay, so I get that. But I'm still going to put it out there. We aren't getting a lot of views on these videos right now, but I figure the one who comes across the information that uses it and makes money, that's who the videos were for. So I'm good with it. So here we go. If you haven't seen the videos before now, please go look at them. The first 2 videos was actually taking you to the tax sale, and you see what the tax sales look like when we buy property there. The third video was what happens in the first 30 days and the stressors that come along with the process after you purchase. And then number 4 was handling the real estate business while you're still living life, right? You've made this purchase, you've got some financial things to do. Life goes on though, and sticking with it. That's what number 4 is, and just dealing with it. And also number 4 has the confirmation hearing. Number 5, part 5 has the appeal hearing, because we had a problem on a property. And I'm loving that this is the time when we wanted to share this, because you're really getting a flavor for all of the things that could occur. And let's see, number 6, the last one, I actually did a video. I took you through the property so you can see what we're dealing with, what we're going to have to rehab, and everything. So please watch those videos so you can get a feel for this whole thing. Now I'm going to take you into our personal finances to really let you see how this has been working and playing out for us, and what some of our tricks of the trade are. It doesn't work for everybody, but I hope it works for you. Okay, let me turn this around, get set up here. Let's see. All right. Now I have the view on my computer. And if you are going to do something like this, you definitely want to learn how to put your information in a spreadsheet or write it down, keep it in a book somehow. You got to do some bookkeeping if you want to stay on top of this kind of thing. So where we are right now is we started out last year with $2,000 in the bank. Last year was the tax sale. Started out with $2,000. That's all we had. We could have went to the tax sale with $2,000, but we would have bought very little, right? So, and we probably would have bought in the neighborhoods that we weren't actually targeting. It isn't that we don't want them, but we weren't targeting them at this time. $8,000 is what we took out on a loan. We decided, okay, let's go get an unsecured loan. It was actually a high interest loan because it was a last minute thing. Wasn't the best thing for high, beginning a high interest loan. So we needed some more money. So we decided to get creative, and we took advantage of a couple of offers on credit cards that were 0% interest. One was 12 months, one was 18 months. That means if we pay these amounts off in that amount of time, we don't give them any extra money. Okay. And then if we don't pay those off, then what we do is roll them over to another 0% interest card until we get the whole amount paid off, so that we don't pay interest. Well, I'm getting a call here. Hate to do this. Give me one moment. Hey, dear, I am in the middle of a video. What's going on?
That's what I
Okay, I'll be down there in a minute. I was trying to do a video, but I didn't pause it. I just went ahead and answered the phone. On our journey with the real estate. Can't. All right. Okay, babe. Love you. Bye. All right. I think I have a business meeting to go to. So I'm gonna again try to run through this without skimping, but without taking too long. So we ended up with $39,200 to go to the tax sale, right? So we went to the tax sale. We spent $17,000 on one, $14,000 on one, and $2,100 on a property. Now this one for $17,000, it was sight unseen. I have told you all, do not do that, and then I went and did it. I looked it up on my tablet. It was a lake property. They average 180,000 in that area. I said, man, if I can get this real cheap, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, sight unseen. So it did get me into a little bit of a bind because this property is going to take way more work than what we were wanting to do. This 14,000 one happened to be an issue with actually going by and seeing the property, looking at the documentation online that the county had. Everything seemed to match, but when we bought it, they said it was the property next door, which was some land. So we went to court on that one. Watch the previous videos, you'll get that. And then this $2,100 one is a piece of land, but it has a nice concrete footing on it already that we can build upon. So we spent $33,100. Now we don't have a lot left at that point, right? We spent $4,000 the next year. Well, really at the very end of the year, December, we probably waited till December 31st and paid that taxes. Because when you buy it at the tax sale, usually the current year taxes are not paid. Sometimes the last 2 years isn't paid, depending on when they got judgment on being able to sell the property. And then $14,000 was refunded to us from going to court on that one property. We paid $1,500 in legal fees and incidental fees and so forth to get that to happen. Small price to pay to get back $14,000. And then $16,000 was available to us in a line of credit that we hadn't used yet. And $24,000 was a loan we took out against a different investment property that we had. So now we got available to us $48,500. Again, we're paying off those credit cards. So right in the meantime, we're being aggressive and just with regular jobs. My husband's retired. I have a regular job, and we're just paying. This is what we choose to do. We don't choose to go to McDonald's every day. We don't choose to go to World of Fun or to the amusement parks and whatever like this. This is what we choose to spend our money in. So we spent $4,000 so far to rehab the property that we bought, that we still have. And we expect to spend another $17,000. That's going to leave us with $27,500 to spend on getting this property ready to sell. And I mean, this is a terrible property. It's going to take all of that and more over the next year, maybe, to get this property ready to sell. So here's our strategy. You might be thinking, man, you done flew through that money. This property costs you a lot. I don't know if you're going to make any money. Well, it can look that way sometime, but you have to stick with it. Our strategy is that we're going to continuously market the property for sale at every stage of the process. And if we don't sell it during the early development stages, then we plan to finish out the renovation and sell it for a larger profit. Okay. So I want to go backwards and show you the faith walk that we've been on and why we are persevering and pressing towards the potential of this property right now. So we're going to go up here and I'm going to show you where we started from the beginning. We're talking 5 years ago. Okay. 5 years ago. So we had already started a business of property management and we sought property to buy. Now, point taken here, you don't have to have property to start your business of property management or property flipping or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to already have properties, already have the money in the bank. Start your business now. Everything you put into it, looking for properties, buying a computer, whatever, that is expenses that can come off of your taxes. You can deduct them from taxes on your Schedule C because you have a business, and these are your startup costs, your ramping up costs. You could do that first couple of years and get it going, okay? But don't do it and be ramping up your business and you're not even getting a deduction for it on your taxes. Start your business. That means get your name, get your sole proprietorship set up or your LLC set up, however you want to do it, and file your taxes. Okay, get your license with your city that you're in or county, whoever requires the license, and get it going. Okay, so anyway, we had our business, and at the time I was making about $45,000 a year. My husband was retired. We started with $0 in the bank. Our primary home didn't have a mortgage, and our rental that we had a $57,000 mortgage on it. It gave us $1,000 a month rent, and $720 of that was going towards the mortgage payment. The other $280, we put it away for maintenance, and it was almost considered a break-even property. Okay, so year one, what we decided to do, and when I say year one, this is year one that we decided to go to the tax sale. Previous to that, we bought properties the way a lot of people do, which is go get a mortgage. So we took a credit card offer for 0% interest, $7,000 on that card, 15 months. Basically, you just write yourself a check on the credit card. They give you money, put it in your bank, and you get 15 months to pay it back without paying any interest. Look it up. Those offers are out there every day. Then we had $8,000 that we got from tax refunds that we put away, and then we took out a mortgage against our home that we were living in for $30,000. That gave us $45,000 to go to the tax sale with. We bought a property for $7,000 that had a little bit of fire damage, not a lot. We thought we could work with it. $12,800 on another property. So we spent a total of $19,800 in year two. Now, mind you, tax sale is at the end of the year, so we're rolling over into year two. In year two, really at the end of the year, December, we paid the current year taxes to the county of about $1,800. We took the $4,000 tax refund that we got because we had a lot of deductions. We got money back. We didn't pay taxes. We had all the deductions from the year before of those purchases and so forth. So then we, and the interest on the business loans that we took out, the $30,000 and so forth. So then the $4,000, we kept that as income back into the business. And then we sold one of the properties for $5,000 at a loss, because that's the one we bought for $7,000. The reason we sold it at a loss is because somebody set it on fire 2 more times. So that was a bad situation, but we just rolled with it. We ended up getting a buyer just out the blue that wanted to buy it, and we sold it $5,000. So at this point, we were looking at $7,200 as the net from all of the activity. The actual income was $5,000 from selling a property, but it wasn't profit yet. We didn't consider that profit because we were still in the hole on the purchases, right? So the money that we had left to work with was $32,400. Plus we had 2 Home Depot cars, y'all. Now listen, it's important to have some type of opportunity where you can do 0% interest for some purchases, for items you need to do the reconstruction on the home. So that was a good thing for us. So then we spent $32,000 in rehab for the investment property that we had left. You know, we bought 2, sold one at $5,000. Now we put $32,000 into one of them, and we ended up not being able to sell it, by the way, so we rented it, and we got $9,600 in income for that first year. Then we put it on the market again. During this time, we had $6,000 on a Home Depot credit card. Now count that as income, because this was money being used now that we were paying back in payments, right? So the total there out of pocket ended up being $16,400 when you consider what we brought in, what went out. That leaves $16,000 still to work with. Now, year 3, we're going into year 3, put the property back on the market. It immediately sold for $89,000, where the year before it wasn't immediately selling. The market wasn't good, so we rented it. It sold right away at $89,000 $4,200 out of pocket, fees to the realtor, title insurance, which costs extra for a tax property, just so you guys know. It's about double the cost. And then $44,800 that we paid back on all the debt that included, and I'm deducting the initial purchase, the rehab costs, paying the credit cards, everything was $44,800. Then the county taxes, again, because you have to pay taxes every year, right, was $2,300 that we end up paying. So the net was $37,700. But if we add, now we can add in what's true profit. So we'd have the $5,000 that we received in selling the first property and $9,600 that was in rents. Our true profit is $52,300. Now, because this is a capital gains, when we file our taxes, it's taxed at a lower rate. This is long term because we held it longer than a year. So think about that when you're going to sell something, buy it quick and sell it quick. It's taxed at a higher rate when it's short-term gains. So now going into the fourth year, we have $37,700 in the bank, free and clear. All debt is paid. So it took 3 years to do that with zero money in the bank, paying everything off. Now we got $37,700 free. We took that money and invested it in rehabbing the original property that we already had. It was $4,200 out of pocket expenses to sell it, and $165,000 is what we got in the sale. That left us with $161,500 money in the bank, free and clear, no debt, total profit after year number 4. Again, starting 4 years prior with zero in the bank. What I want to stress here is you got to have patience. This is not an overnight deal. Some companies have built up their money to the point that they can do it in 6 months. We're small and not a lot of money, so it takes us a little more time, but you can do it too. You just need patience, persistence, and progressively press toward the potential of what can be. It's unforeseen what you will really get in the end. Sometimes it's more or less, but you know that there's great potential. So you have to let that stay your motivator. Let it remain your motivator. Keep pressing forward, even through the hard times. Be persistent and be patient. I hope that you have enjoyed the information that I was able to provide. I hope that if you set out in this venture, that you can get all of the information between my videos and other people's videos that you need to make the money that's out there to be made. Okay? All right. See you guys. I'm signing off now.